Hello, Lakers fans. This is Wilson. I'm joined by my three prestigious co-hosts, Shane Christopher Murray, Jason Big Mitch Mitchell, and David Galvis. Tonight we're going to get into, you know, a few of the things I discussed in the, earlier solo episode I posted, which is basically like a shoot around. This is the real game, uh, which is, obviously Darvin Ham being officially fired on Friday.
Woo!
It's Thursday night right now. So, me and Mitch, we kind of previewed his firing last week,
Woo!
but now it's official. Uh,
Mm.
and the names being floated are three main names, which were J.J. Redick, Kenny Atkinson, and Mike Budenholzer, with the news broke today. With the Suns firing Frank Vogel after one season, as Mitch predicted, Frank Vogel would be the fall guy in Phoenix, right? And so it's looking like Mike Budenholzer is going to be the guy in Phoenix. But that would leave it, narrow it down to JJ and Atkinson. LeBron last year threw out Rajon Rondo. I don't think that really caught steam. And then Byron Scott said that maybe LeBron should be the player coach. So
Lane coach.
so there's that. And then I still want to get the guys' thoughts on so Galvez and Shane, since they went with us last week, on LeBron and his extension, or his what he's going to do when he opts out. D'Angelo, his player option, he's likely going to opt out. Christian Wood, he opted into his player option for next year. Um, what else?
Damn, it's not necessary. Hey, so the news came out today that the Lakers will meet any terms for LeBron. They want him until he retires.
Alrighty. Mitch,
Somebody reported that. I forgot who, but somebody reported that.
Mitch last week said that he called it the Lakers would give LeBron the Kobe treatment, basically. When Kobe was at the end of his career, if you remember that last 2 years the Lakers gave him as a means of showing other players, well, we take care of our star franchise players even when they're at the end of their career. So
I
it's
mean,
not,
it worked, didn't it? It got LeBron to show up.
yeah. Um, and then we'll get into some, just general NBA playoff second round. MVP talk. Joker won his third MVP, and I'm sure much of Shea Murray chipping in. Uh,
Oh boy,
what
can't
else?
believe this.
And then Mitch wants to talk about Challengers, the new Zendaya movie, and also at the end, if we have enough time, Drake and Kendrick, and whatever else we can think of. But let's get right into it. I guess I'll start with Galvez and Shane turn his camera off. Uh, and I already got a lot of Mitch's thoughts last week. But Galvez, how are you? Do you feel like Darvin Ham deserves to get fired? And who would you say is your preference for who should replace him as head coach of the Lakers?
All right. So say what you will about his substitution patterns, his X's and O's, and all that.
They were
The
trash.
fact is, the Lakers players didn't respect him as a coach. There's a lot
Fact.
of clips of them just not caring what he was saying during the timeout. There was a lot of just BS. So whether he had a great substitution pattern or not, or he knew how to do X's and O's, the team just did not respect them. Um, I don't know if that's LeBron as a leader that he couldn't, be like whatever. But LeBron's had what 9 coaches in his 20-year career, which is a lot.
Crazy. No, that's
I don't know
crazy.
if you know, if he's the one that's pulling the strings behind, the curtain. But um, if you're gonna give LeBron that contract, you might as well just let him pick the coach, right? And so, if JJ Redick's the coach, I mean, who's to say that he's going to be better or worse? Nobody knows. Um, but one guy that I kind of like because I feel like the team needs discipline, and it looked like he actually showed too much. That's why they didn't like him, and he had a really good record this year. Was Adrian Griffin from the Bucks. He was 30-13. You know, nobody's really bringing him up, but you might as well just let LeBron pick the coach, man. If he's gonna be a Laker for life, just let him pick. And I know it's kind of going off topic, but then you got to go to LeBron and say, okay, do you want to make the most money possible and retire as a Laker, or you want to win? Take a cut and let's see if we can surround you with better pieces. Kobe didn't do it. I don't know if LeBron will. Doesn't really need the money, right? Whether he makes max at 50 mil a year or if he can make 35, 40, help the team out. But that's up to him at the end of the day. But yeah, I saw a clip today. The way LeBron was yelling at that call where they didn't challenge it, it was just, whether Darvin Ham was right or wrong, your best player showing you up like that, which he was right. LeBron was right, but you're basically showing up your coach. And if LeBron don't respect him, who will?
Okay.
Now, listen, before Shane Murray goes, you heard Galvez say what he said. Nobody put him up to that. Those were his own thoughts. He seen it for himself. Now, what you got to say about that, sucker?
What I say?
Tell Galvez something.
Can I talk? Can I talk? Thank you.
What you got to say?
Despite the videos you see, apparently Darvin nobody respected Darvin. The quotes, unanimous quotes, throwing him under the bus. Whatever criticism you make about him putting his hand in his pockets, whatever criticism you give him about holding timeouts, not calling timeouts, his lack of in-game adjustments, whatever you want to call him, Darvin scam, whatever. Name me as coach right now, and in 2 years of coaching, gonna get you to a Western Conference Finals.
Kenny Atkinson, Rajon Rondo.
Name one coach right now in his second year of coaching gonna give you close to 50 wins and improve 4 wins from his first year as a coach.
Rajon Rondo.
No, you're wishing.
You don't know.
But nevertheless, the unanimous quotes from the players did him in. AD really did him in. And you're going to go with this cycle of firing a coach every 2 to 3 years because the right coach for LeBron is not necessarily the right coach for the team. The right coach for the Lakers is they need somebody who's a presence and need somebody who's a teacher. That's not the right coach for LeBron. LeBron, because he's been around so long, he's either just as old or older to have the damn assistants going up for the job. And he think he knows more than any coach you bring in. So it's going to be really hard to bring in a assistant who never coached before or someone who hadn't coached at all to get LeBron to buy in, because he's just going to take over whenever the hell he wants.
That is true, because I feel like if during the game, if a coach calls a play that is not to LeBron's liking, is he gonna show him up?
Now, show him up? I hope not. But I feel like that happens a lot with veteran players. If they don't like the call, they'll go with something else on the floor. But as a veteran player, it's kind of, your coach kind of gives you that leeway as well. As long as you're not like literally kind of showing up your coach, kind of like LeBron did when he threw that tantrum, even though he was right. LeBron was right that it should have been our ball.
And he completely gave up on the play on that.
Yeah,
They got a
Hey,
layup. But
and he gave up 2 points for it.
as guys who took Spanish at Daniel Murphy High School with Dr. Marin and Mr. Rio and those guys. Did you guys ever see the our ball clip where they say the captain is, how do you say tree in Spanish? Yeah,
It's
LeBron
it's
goes,
our ball, ain't it? That's our ball.
it's our ball.
That's our ball. That's our ball.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
But yeah, I mean, LeBron, the thing is, there's even reports, remember when LeBron joined Miami, a 25-year-old LeBron, he wanted Eric Spoelstra to get fired. He told Pat Riley, hell no. And me and Wilson were talking about this the other day, where it's like, ever since Dr. Buzz passed, rest in peace, the Lakers have no backbone. They just let these players do whatever they want. I mean, he traded a 33-year-old Shaq because Shaq wasn't going to play ball with the Lakers. And here we are, basically. And the worst part is, it's a 40-year-old LeBron that we're catering to. And there's no guarantee that he's going to lead us to the finals like he did when he was on the East. And so I honestly, if we get the right pieces, I wouldn't even mind a little mini rebuild if that meant getting rid of LeBron. I don't want to, but if he's gonna hold this franchise hostage, where we even got to draft his son,
Yeah. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, I mean, kind of back to the topic a little bit though. Listen, Galvez, you hit it on the head. Like, at the end of the day, Shane Murray's right too. Actually, Shane Murray's right too. Actually, right. We're going through this cycle, and we're running into the same problem though. We're not hiring the right guy in the first place. That's what happened with Vogel. That's what happened with Darvin Ham right now. So yeah, we're running into the cycle, but it's because we're not hiring the right guy in the first place. We should have hired Jason Kidd instead of Frank Vogel. We should have hired Tyronn Lue instead. But the Lakers keep getting in their own way when the right coach is like right there, but they don't pull the trigger. Tyronn Lue was right there. Jason Kidd was right there.
Literally right there. He was the assistant coach.
No, he's literally right there. But at the end of the day, Frank got fired, not because, it is because we lost in the first round, but the players didn't respect him. You could see it all season. Players didn't respect him no more. He had to go. It just is what it is. Same thing with Darvin Ham. Players lost respect for him. You could tell.
Our report today that the Phoenix Suns were laughing at Vogel. He got mad during meetings.
I mean, like, what are we talking about? Listen, if the players don't respect the coach, there's nothing that he could say. There's nothing that he could draw up. There's nothing that he could rotate to get the team back. I mean,
it's no different.
It would take something drastic to get the respect back. Once the respect is gone, I mean, that's in the NBA. That's it. That's it.
And how worse do we look that Minnesota's toying with Denver, and we lost in 5 games?
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me that Minnesota is that much better than the Lakers. And it's just out here, man. He just out there having fun. What the hell?
I can't believe what I'm seeing from Denver, man. I guess Shane Murray was right all along. it's like the Nuggets are not who I thought they were. You know, the Nuggets are. I don't know. I can't believe what I'm saying to see them just get completely
They're
embarrassed
getting,
like that.
they're getting locked up, man. I think something that the Timberwolves do have over us, they believe. Right now, they
Well,
are
they
playing
have,
like they believe.
they have
Especially
size
in that
at
pick slate.
athleticism at every position. Like they had one possession, or most of was game one, where they had Ant Edwards running point, and then everybody was basically 6'6", 6'8".
Oh, wait a minute. Imagine that. Putting players with size
Yes,
out
they're the
there on the
2020
court.
Lakers. They already established that.
Imagine that. No, that's wild, huh?
And they got two legit 7-footers.
They do. They do. The easy adjustment for the Lakers would have been, it should have been AD on Joker from the beginning. Like that, it kind of is what it is. Um, that should have been the adjustment from the beginning. Shouldn't have waited till what did he wait till? Game 5, game 4? Come on. AD should have been guarding Joker. Slow him down a little bit.
And Darvin Ham never made the adjustment of Joker was on the top of the key with AD out. The paint was wide open, and Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr. got layup after layup after layup wide open. Never made an adjustment. Never
Denver was
tried
just
anything new. He didn't even
no.
try anything.
Mike Malone even said it. He's like, man, I mean, we've got all these adjustments ready. We just haven't had to use them. That fucked Darvin over too. Let's be honest. Like that was not great for him. Like a lot of
I
things,
mean,
a lot of things
respectfully,
came out in that series that it was just like, oh man, we
Mike
don't win
Malone's
this
a 8
series.
to 10 year
Darvin's gone.
coach. Mike Malone's an 8 to 10 year coach. Darvin's in his second year.
But he's saying that he has all the listen. He's not listen. He's saying that he didn't have to do any adjustments because Darvin didn't do any.
Yeah.
You know what, man? It would be the Lakers. See, that's the problem with some of these. Like Frank, I know Frank was really just defeated towards the end, right? But Darvin, the way that Darvin just stands over there with his hands in his pocket, like, the way that Mike Malone is very animated on the sidelines, that helps,
Yeah.
just image wise. You
Yeah.
know, when you just stand there on the sidelines with your arms crossed and with your hands in your pocket,
Yeah.
I mean, it helps to like look like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. So
Yeah.
Listen, yeah, no, not everybody. Listen, not everybody can pull off the Phil Jackson demeanor,
right.
but every now and again, though, especially in the playoffs, Phil would get animated.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever saw Darvin like animated. He was always,
It's like if you're gonna go the Phil Jackson route and be smooth and
yeah,
calm and collected, you better be winning the 60 games a year and winning the championship every year.
yeah,
Pat Riley wasn't, I don't think, that animated on the sideline, but his teams were always excellent. You can get away with that when your teams are championship teams, contending teams. When your teams are underachieving, you can't just stand over there and you know.
I mean, it's the optics of it. It's Shea
Yeah.
Murray's over there shaking his head, but I mean, optics matter, especially when you're part of the Lakers organization.
If you take Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham, the person, he just cropped his body out. You didn't know it was Darvin Ham. You take away the stadium and the celebrities and the athletes, you would think he's a JV basketball coach in high school. Just the way he just stands around and just does nothing.
It looks like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
It
Or
looks like
doesn't
he
know.
doesn't care.
But
Or doesn't know.
But the problem is
Gosh.
he acts like he doesn't know instead of vice versa.
I don't know. I don't know which is worse.
But could it be also that these role players, they're just making so much money that they just don't love the game anymore?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Because
Ant-Man is the only person who loves the game in this day and age.
Yeah.
So let's transition to. I guess we should start with we can do NBA playoffs and then.
wait, hold on. Sorry, was Shane? But you didn't say who you think they should hire though.
All right.
Like, if you had to make 3 candidates, who would you pick?
If it's me, I'm choosing between Mark Jackson or Ty Lue. But I believe I just have a feeling it's gonna be Kenny.
Gross. His camera didn't even like that. No way.
I think they
Oof.
I think they're gonna look at him the way because he was assistant with Golden State. So I think they're gonna look at him like how Mike Brown went from Golden State to Sacramento, had a change of heart or a change of philosophy and did what he did with Sacramento. Plus he's real good with young players. And mine is AD and Bron. A lot of the guys on the team are young. And then if you miraculously keep D'Lo's only all-star year was with him as coach.
As far as D'Lo goes, I don't know if y'all know this, but he went blonde, so he's clearly going through a crisis right now. So we'll see what happens. With
Yeah, I saw that there. But yeah,
yeah,
like I said, miraculously keep him. Plus, given that you gave up Phil Handy, you tossed Phil Handy out the door. You don't have a player development coach.
Hey, brother, listen. Assistants get fired, but they can easily get hired back onto the staff. We don't know if Phil Handy's gone. Right now, he's just kind of gone.
Why would he come back?
Because he did before? What do you mean?
Why would he come back after that?
Because he already did. What do you mean?
That was the second thing. He ain't gonna do that 3 times. Come on.
But I don't think anybody's seriously considering him for a head coach or assistant head coach, so he might as well just come back.
Exactly. Like, what is this guy talking about? Like, what's this guy talking about? Why wouldn't he? It's the Lakers. Like, he's really good at his jobs. The players like him. Like, I'm sure he wants to see this thing through. So yeah, if you're Phil Handy, I mean,
what if we bring back Phil?
uh,
Run the triangle offense in 2024.
man, there's no way Phil wants to do all that. But
Phil barely walking, man.
Let's transition to NBA playoffs / MVP.
ooh,
So Joker won his 3rd MVP, but the Nuggets are down 0-2.
ooh,
They lost the first 2 games at home. Shane Murray, who do you think should have won the MVP? Who do you think should have won the MVP?
SGA.
I tend to agree. I think I would have given it to SGA before I gave Joker a 3rd. Probably wouldn't have given Joker a 3rd until he won a 2nd championship. And it's looking like that's not going to happen this year because, I mean, Minnesota just seems to have all the answers for them. You know?
Hey, if you're not gonna give it to SGA, I'll give it to Brunson. But Joker, no.
Yeah.
it was SGA or bust for me. I mean, listen, the West was the toughest conference. They got the 1st seed. Last year they were a 10 seed. This year they were a 1 seed. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he was the best player on the best team in the best conference. He was a walking bucket. He had 30 points in over 50 games or something ridiculous like that. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, they were a 10th seed last year. They were the 1 seed in a loaded, stacked Western Conference this year. This was his year. This isn't like it's a regular season award. It's not like it's not supposed to be, who's the best player in the league or, who's better out of these candidates because, obviously of the MVP candidates, obviously Joker's the better player, but SGA had a better season. When it comes down to it, I mean, he was the best player on the best team.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not so much that Joker won, it's just by how much he won. It was
That too.
It was
Yeah, that made it
like
worse.
you could make an argument that Joker, it's okay that he won,
Right.
but like the number one seed, the best player in the number one seed always wins it. So why was this year any different?
Wild. It's giving Steve Nash back to back vibes. A little bit.
Well, I think one issue is, along with the media being the main one voting, a lot of the voters think the best player in the MVP of the season are one and the same. Because, like, for example, I was listening to ESPN LA today, and Greg Bergman and Mason Allen was talking about
Greg Bergman, alumni of the show. Shout out to Greg Bergman.
Right. They were talking about when Joker was interviewing with Shaq, and Shaq was telling him like, "I love you, Joker. You're the Legion of Big Men, but I would have gave the award to SGA." So they were talking about would you respect that if you were Joker, or was that in poor taste, whatever. And they Mason Howell was saying like, you say you say he's the best player in the league, but you say he shouldn't have won MVP. So they're looking at that like the best player in the league is MVP is all the same when it's not.
It's not.
So you got voters thinking that way. It throws off the whole vote.
Yeah.
Do y'all think that was like a diss, or do y'all think that was Shaq hating? I don't. I mean, it was just the
No,
truth.
he is being honest. I'd rather you say that to my face and say it behind my back.
Exactly. A lot of these podcasters, they'll like they run in the same circles, but they'll only say it on their podcast. And when the person comes on their show, they're just like, oh, and then they switch up real quick. Shaq was like, no, listen, man to man, I still think you're the best player in the league, but I said SGA should have won MVP. I mean,
but, yeah, the MVP voting, yeah.
As a player, it still pissed me off, and I'd go out and try to kill somebody in the next game. But outside looking in, I thought it was respectful.
Yeah. The problem is the MVP voting in every sport has always been like kind of funky. I mean, think about it. Shaq and Kobe, two of the most dominant players for over 10, 15 years. They only got 2 MVPs combined.
Makes no sense.
Ridiculous. And the problem is when you have these media guys or girls vote, they're human. You can't help but have some sort of personal bias.
Hell yeah.
So what they need to do is just have only former All-Star or former MVPs vote.
Yeah.
And
you gotta get this right.
If a reporter just doesn't like a person for whatever personal reason and they can't differentiate on the court and off the court.
Yep.
It's
I agree with you guys, but like the media is gonna fight that because they're gonna make the argument that because of the interviews and the coverage they give the players, we're the main reason why you're getting the TV money. You're getting the money you're getting. So they're gonna push back and say we're the ones that's helping push your narrative, push the story forward, and give you the publicity you guys are needing to make the money you're making. So unless they find a compromise there, I guess where it's half media, half players,
Yeah.
Nothing
We
changed.
gotta do something. We gotta do something, man. It's been ridiculous, but yeah, man. I mean, yeah, when you talk about Shaq, when you talk about Kobe, and you say they only got one regular season MVP each.
Yeah. And everybody forgets, like, the Kobe's first half of his career, everybody hated him.
Oh
The
yeah,
media hated him. Everybody hated him. And for him to not win an MVP award because they didn't like him as a person, not the basketball player.
ridiculous.
And that's the problem. Media be putting their personal biases into it and measuring all analytics instead of what's on the court, and it throws up the whole vote.
Yeah, remember that's what they did when Jaja almost became a starter in the All-Star game. They immediately changed the vote. They were like, "Nah, man, we can't have this." So they need to just make maybe the media have like 25% of the vote, or 30%, and then yeah.
It's
Uh,
it's ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous.
I forgot. So, does anybody have anything to say about Christian Wood opting in? I know I saw somebody say that they think that can make Rory expendable, or he could be like Wood could be like insurance for Rory if the Lakers decide to try to shop Rory. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If anybody has anything to say about it.
They shouldn't shop Rui. Rui needs to work on his defense this summer. Make sure he's paying attention to the game plan and to coverages, but you shouldn't shop Rui.
Do you guys think D'Angelo will be back?
Not likely,
No.
but
Gut
it's still a
reflex.
possibility because he
Gut
only
reaction.
has like 2 or 3 teams popping up for him right now.
Gut reaction is no, but my heart says I hope so.
Well, shoot, who's gonna play point guard for us if we don't have D'Lo?
Austin Reeves.
You
They'll
got
probably find like a
sign and
vet
trade.
minimum type of guy.
Right. We're gonna be a much worse team next year if we don't have D'Angelo Russell.
That's a fact, honestly.
They got to figure out a sign and trade or something.
All right.
We were already kind of not great with him. Can you
Right.
imagine?
Before any of that, Kiri go down, you got for coaches.
You said
Grab them up.
you said we got to figure out who the coach is first before we decide what we're gonna do with D'Lo.
Yeah, like you can't start adding players if they don't fit the coach's system or if you don't like the players. That's what problem we ran into with D'Antoni.
Yeah. All right. Look, I know Mitch wanted to talk about this movie Challengers, this Zendaya movie, or as well, listen, where everybody saw the trailers and her like having this. Well, basically, it was a train, right? Not a threesome, because a threesome is 2 guys and a girl. Train is 2 guys. A threesome is 2 girls and a guy. A train is 2 guys and a girl. So basically,
Not
and
a
I
train.
saw
It's a devil's three-way.
a devil's 3-way.
2 guys.
And so basically, I mean, I saw the little grainy clips of somebody, the little bootleg, whoever filmed it in the movie theater, and posted it online. And of course, it ended up being some gay stuff, which I didn't appreciate. But Mitch, what did you think of the movie overall? I heard that. I mean, I think the reviews were great, weren't they?
It's got a 89% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mhm.
So according to the critics, actually. So I gave it a solid 8. Thought it was a solid 8. Unlike certain people who shall remain nameless.
Did Shane see it?
No.
Of course not. So he has no opinion.
How graphic was that? I know I saw some clips, but I didn't really see all of it. How graphic was that little threesome?
Not graphic at all.
Hmm.
It's just kissing. Um, aside from all that, man, I thought the performances were great. I thought the chemistry between the actors was great. Um, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed where the story was going. Um, ambiguous ending. I would have liked to on this one. I would have, I mean, normally, Sopranos, Inception. I love a good ambiguous ending. On this one, I would have enjoyed a definitive ending better, but an ambiguous ending on this one, so that's why I gave it an 8. Yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Uh, I watched it after work. I stayed awake the whole movie. I was on the edge of my seat. I thoroughly enjoyed the performance. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Like I said, unlike some people who shall remain nameless, I enjoy dialogue in movies. So this, I thought it was a very solid movie, honestly. And that's my take. Sorry, Sheila.
It's throw under the bush.
Um,
She don't like dialogue, so.
before we get into the Drake Kendrick thing, I really do wish I could remember what else there was that Mitch wanted to talk about. You still didn't think about it, Mitch? You couldn't remember?
I could not remember.
Was there anything else that anybody else wants to say or wants to talk about? Because we have a little time before we get into the Drake and Kendrick and the last week of their beef.
Shit.
No? We talked about LeBron, talked about Darvin Ham and his potential replacements. We talked about Christian Wood and D'Angelo. Talks about some NBA playoffs. Funny the Celtics got blown out.
Oh, Jackson Hayes says he doesn't know if he's gonna pick up his option or not.
Okay.
Listen, Jack, Mr. Hayes. Okay. Honestly, man.
If we're like hanging on to Jackson Hayes resigning, we're in trouble.
Honestly.
No, we don't. I mean, you don't necessarily hang on to him to bring him back. Like he could be a throw-in a deal you find later.
Here's something, because last week Mitch said that Donovan Mitchell played another great game tonight for the Cavs. They blew out the Celtics. Last week, Mitch said Mitchell has been Donovan Mitchell has been lighting it up in the playoffs, like he usually does. And Mitch said though that he doesn't think Donovan would be a good fit with the Lakers, but he thinks Trae Young would. Now the issue with that is that
That's wild.
yesterday the news came out. Well, Trae Young broke it himself. I think that he's left Clutch and signed with CAA. So that would seem to throw a monkey wrench into any plans the Lakers had of acquiring Trae Young. But Shay, you seem to have a reaction to Mitch saying that Trae would be a better fit than Donovan. Could you expound on that, please?
This man's the biggest Trae Young hater ever.
Yeah, I'm still hating. But he would be a better fit than Spider.
I completely disagree with that.
So of course you do. Wait, what?
I completely disagree with that.
We might as well we might as well stick bum ass DeMar DeRozan out there then. What are we talking about?
DeMar DeRozan's not a bum, and that's Compton. You be respectful, sir.
God damn. We're gonna get that in a second, Shay.
We might as well stick bum ass DeMar DeRozan out there. DeMar, I hear it. DeMar,
he's not a bum. That's a 20-point a game scorer, son.
He wouldn't be on this team.
Bet he would.
I bet he would.
Yeah, as I'm saying, I think Spider's a better fit. He can play on ball or off ball. And his size, he's bigger, he's stronger. and he can carry the load of AD or Bron in a missing game. Whereas Trey, he does, as much as I like him, he doesn't play defense. He's terrible off ball, and because of his size, it's like we got all this length on our team for the players we do have on the team. It's a disservice having them out there with this group.
So you saying all the things that I've been telling you about Trey, you just regurgitated all of them. So now
as far as being a fit on the Lakers, not as far as him as a player.
But you literally just said all the things that I don't like about his game, and you called me a hater.
I don't like him. I don't like the fit.
But
you just basically knocked him off like, oh, he's sorry.
All the reasons that I say that I do not like Trey Young's game, you literally just listed them all.
Oh well, I didn't say I hated this game. I love this game.
But you just listed all the reasons that I said that I don't like his game.
In terms of the fit not being there.
I never said he was a bad player, but I gave you the reasons why I
didn't always like you say he's been overrated since he came in the league. So don't even
no. I said no, sir. I said he's been disappointing ever since they got to the playoffs, made noise in the playoffs. Ever since then, there's been no progression to his game. That's what I said.
I mean, look at the team, bro.
I look at him. He's the leader of it. He's the leader of it.
Look at the team.
Okay. I'm looking at all the things that you just listed because that's what he's doing on the team, and that's why they haven't been in the playoffs. Like,
yeah, where's his help?
Where's his progression? Why hasn't he fixed the holes in his game that you just listed? You can see,
sir. He's literally 25 and 10 a year.
So it's hating when I say it, but when you say it, it's like, oh.
Cause I'm talking about the fit on our team, and I'm talking about him as a player. I'm talking about the fit on our team.
Guys, please, can somebody explain it to this guy? Like, I don't understand. Like, am I speaking a different language?
Well, Shane maybe being a little hypocritical here, but I don't know.
These are literally the things that I said I don't like about Trey's game. Right? Like, we can run the tapes back. Those are literally the things that I've said. And then you throw in like shot selection.
Would you rather have
how he killed his coach too?
Would you rather have Trey or D'Angelo?
D'Angelo.
Okay.
D'Angelo.
Sorry, I was putting D'Angelo. A name that has been floating around on ESPN LA though is Lauri Markkanen.
What the hell are we gonna do with him?
What
are we gonna do with Lauri Markkanen?
I think Lauri's a solid player. I wonder what he would
play alongside AD. Be a stretch forward, like that Porzingis type of player.
But you gotta listen. When we talk about players, you gotta also factor in they'd be playing with LeBron and AD, but you also gotta factor in that they'd be playing on the Lakers. The lights are brighter in Hollywood.
Every role player that we sign or we trade for never very rarely lives up. Like, every player that we get, when they come to the Lakers, it's almost like it's too much pressure, and they just look at Gabe Vincent, how he played when he played with Miami. Bro, when he played on Miami, it was like he was a dog, bro. He was
dog
valuable
shit for us.
He was invaluable. And he just comes to the Lakers, and all of a sudden, he's hurt for half the year.
That's because we got fans like Jason Mitchell over here. Want to fire the coach every 2 or 3 years.
I know you are not
somebody
defending
sucks
a dude.
after 1 or 2 games.
I know you're not defending a dude that averaged 1 point in the playoffs, bro. Please tell me
I'm not defending Gabe, bitch. I'm just saying, like,
then shut up.
The players crumble under the lights because fans like Jason Mitchell. That's all I'm saying.
What do I have to do with him scoring buckets on the court?
How many
Yeah.
shots did he take, bro? Name me a game when he shot more than 10 times.
Bro, come on, man. Stop playing with me, please.
Name a
Stop
game when he
playing.
shot more than 10 times.
Bro, stop playing with me, man. Please. Please stop playing with me.
The thing is, also what we gotta take into consideration is the league is so young, and Anthony Edwards has arrived. SGA is here. Who else? Denver's legit. They're in their prime. Dallas, it looks like Luka and Kyrie kind of found their groove together. And, the Kings are still going to be pretty good.
As I said, we don't have a young thoroughbred.
We do not have a young player that we could say, all right, he's the future. The way Maxey came on the scene, even though Harden was on there with Embiid, but you could tell Maxey was going to be a really good player for them. We don't have that kind of player.
And we don't have a lot of money to spend on free agency this summer either. So.
All right, look. Okay.
Oh, hold on. Breaking news. We might got some beef in these streets between Shaq and Shannon Sharp.
Huh?
40 minutes ago, Shaq posted a picture of Shannon Sharp, NFL 100 greatest ranks, the top 100 characters in NFL history. Former Bronco Raven tight end Shannon Sharp lands at number 51. And then the caption reads from Shaq, "You took me sticking up for at Shai as jealousy of Joker. Shows how smart you are and how you say anything to get clicks. So here's some clickbait for you. If you ain't raked in the top 10 in your profession, then you can't speak on me. Don't forget, I know what you did to get where you at. Me, jealous? Sounds like you jealous. I know you just trying to stay relevant by gossiping on your podcast. We don't believe you. You need more people. And in case you forgot, 4 rings, 3 finals MVPs, top 50 and top 75. Google me. And to be quite frank, all this new success you got, you still under me. You don't know my work ethic, but according to you, I work less than you, but I'm worth more than you. Make it make sense. Love you too. If you need help making money, it's better ways than gossiping. I'm too old for this shit. Love always, the most dominant big man ever who never took it serious. Remember, I don't know you, and in the words of at Skip Bayless, I'm better than you. Hashtag G14 classification. I have it, you don't, not in my profession. And your GOAT debate, never wanted to be the GOAT. I wanted to be who you should be. I wanted to be who you should greet me as, the most dominant ever. Hashtag the apex predator.
Mic drop.
Mm.
All right, look. We're running out of time now. Let's get into Drake and Kendrick. I think it's over now.
But it's over. Oh, it's over.
I mean,
that man's knocked out.
When we recorded last week, Mitch, it was after Kendrick dropped Euphoria. So the next day he dropped 616 in LA. That was kind of like he was warning Drake, still like, bruh, I got moles in your camp. He had already told him, bro, don't get too personal, man. Right?
Please.
Just take this shit like it's just a friendly fade, he said, right?
Friendly fade, man. That's it.
So
That's all you gotta
then,
do.
Friday evening, I think, Drake drops Family Matters. Kendrick drops Right on Top. We didn't even let it breathe hardly for like 20 minutes.
That's
right?
it. Not even
And
that.
then at that point he had already won. And then the next day that was like the coup de grace. That was with the Not Like Us, which is
Not
about
like
the number one song in the country. And then Drake tried to. I felt like he kind of saved face a little bit with the Heart Part 6, but on YouTube it has more dislikes than likes. So
Crazy
I just
part
want
is I had just left the club that was playing Not Like Us.
mhm.
Step like this. Step like that. Antho, how you feel, man? Are you okay, man? Your boy Drizzy, he's done. He's done out here.
It's bad, man. And
Nail in the coffin.
the thing about it, bro, is I think it's bad. I don't know if he'll ever be the same, but I think there is a path for him to win the people back, and that path is just it's through the music. You know, I was listening to Her Loss last night. When Drake is good and he's locked in and he's at his best, he's undeniable. So if he and his record lately musically with his releases has been very spotty over the last, I would say since 2015, and it gets he's been getting more and more inconsistent. But when he's at his best, he's still so good that the people are going to respond. It's like they're going to like block it out and not listen to it when the music is so good. So that he has to go back to what made him Drake in the first place and made him the biggest artist in the game, which is making music that nobody else was making, that millennials, his core fan base that we relate to, you know, that mood, those vibes, the self-indulgence and the egotism of our generation.
Yeah.
That's what he made music for, and that's how he became the biggest artist in the game. So I think that's his path back to, you know, being Drake. But he's going to have to do that because I think if he doesn't, it's going to be. I think he'll fall. It's a chance that he can be knocked down a peg and no longer be somebody who does twice the numbers as the next biggest guy, and stuff like that. So I'm rooting for him because that's my guy. But
Gotta look out for the Weekend's crew too.
they shooting at each other up there in Canada.
Shooters and everything.
Listen, man, I think Drake's in a unique position where um, beefs might not necessarily end his career. Because I mean, he lost to Pusha, he lost to Kendrick. Um, I mean, but Drake's got to get back to. It's kind of like what you said, but he's got to get back to. He's got to get back to saying something like on a record, bro. Because like this, that Tootsie Slide shit, like, come on, man. Like Drake is better than that, I think. Uh, so yeah, man. I mean, he's got to get back to really kind of saying some shit on his records, like getting in his feels, singing, like doing what Drake does. Kendrick nailed it on the head. We don't like Drake when he acting tough. You know what I mean? Like that's not the Drake that we want. We want the Drake that's singing, hitting melodies and everything like that. Um, but yeah, in this battle, he had no chance. He like Jay Z said, he had a spark when he started. He ended up garbage for sure because when Drake came out strong, but Kendrick came out even harder.
What
Drake,
do you,
man, he had no chance. He had no chance. And the thing I'll say this, listen, the thing about Drake in his response, he addressed the fake daughter and woo 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 woo. He still has not truly addressed this pedophile stuff. And girl, he needs to address that because it's some shit. I seen a video that he met some model when they were like 15, posted a picture. They were all hugged up. 2 months after she turned 18, he closed down a restaurant, took her out on dates. So it's some shit. He's gotta address some real shit. It's just that pedophile stuff. Like I hope 10, 20 years from now we're not looking at Drake like we look at Bill Cosby. So
or
and
R.
like
Kelly?
Kelly. Yeah.
But
So
with this, would it hurt Drake? I mean Kendrick at all if it turns out that Drake doesn't have the daughter and the kid is not really his?
I think that was some bullshit, but
if it is though, if it is true,
No,
would that
Kendrick
hurt?
got receipts for everything. Like every single bar he spit, receipts start pulling up.
But did Kendrick
So
ever?
so
Did he
that
ever?
bullshit he
Did he
talking
ever
about, oh, we
really?
fed you information. Nah, dog.
But did he
No.
ever? Did he ever? Because I'm trying to think. Did Kendrick ever really respond to the Dave Free and the
Kendrick is
Whitney
not really
allegations?
offering
I
rebuttal.
mean, he got well. That came up too. There was Angela Lee brought it up on the Breakfast Club interview, and basically it was an accusation that went away. And for Dave Free, he's leading his this new label or new entertainment group they started. So Drake already speaking out what he heard, while Kendrick brought out facts. So
All right, look, we're out of time. Mitch, you got something you like to say to an old friend of ours?
yeah, man, Herbert was gonna come on. He was gonna say how, yeah, Darvin should have been fired. Darvin sucks. He was also going to say how Kendrick killed Drake. He was gonna say how Challengers was a good movie. Shane Murray don't know shit about movies, but unfortunately, Shane Murray once again derailed us, so we ran out of time. Sorry, Herbert.
Yeah, sorry, Herbert. All right, so before we get out of here, just a few reminders. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button next to the Complete Podcast Network. If you prefer the audio version, remember to
Now
rate,
listen,
review, and
why does this
subscribe to
fool
the
Shane
show on
Murray
Apple
think he can have
Podcasts.
an opinion about a
The show
movie
is
he ain't even
also on
seen in the
Anchor,
trailer?
Spotify, Google
Like, how does that
Podcast,
make sense?
Stitcher,
That don't
iHeartRadio,
make no sense
and
to
every
me.
other major podcatcher.
He
Make sure to
talking about,
follow the show on Twitter
oh,
and Instagram at TC
storyline
Pod
trash.
Network and to
Ooh,
like it on
you can't
Facebook.
tell a storyline
Just
from a
search for the
trailer.
Complete Lakers Podcast.
You just can't.
And finally, send feedback
Have you
and
never
mailbag
seen the show
to Complete
Entourage?
Lakers Podcast
Bro, you can
at
make a
gmail.com.
terrible movie look really good
We
in a trailer.
are out.
And vice versa. You can make a great movie look bad, like